Good morning, lights. Good morning. That was beautiful, boys. Where are the boys at? Give them another hand. Yes. Wonderful, wonderful. Well, I am here to encourage you, to give you an inspiration, and so I have like 2-3 minutes, maybe 5. So it's going to be real quick. So stay tuned. And my encouragement is coming from Mark, the 2nd chapter. Verses 1 through 12, I'm not going to read it. That'll take up too much of my time. I want you to go back and read it. But it's a story about a paralyzed man. Anybody know that story? Yes. Okay, all right. That's why I didn't want to read it, because I think most of you all would know that story. But for those that don't know it, read the story. I'm just going to paraphrase it. And I want you to think about this paralyzed man story in 4 parts. 1, the paralyzed man. The friends. He had 4 friends. The crowd. And Jesus the Christ. Okay? So say that with me. Friend, the paralyzed man. Friends. The crowd. And Jesus the Christ. So when I read this story, it just blessed me because of some of the things that was going on and the dynamics of the story, especially during this time around Christmas. We're in our theme for going into 2017, and we start thinking about what can we do for the kingdom. So I want you to think about, what can you do for the kingdom? Are you the paralyzed man? Are you one of the 4 friends? Can I get 4 of my friends to come up here real quick? See how long that took for some 4 friends to come up? So think about that. Think about that. Are you the crowd? Good crowd out here today. You the crowd. Or are you giving them the best gift ever? Something that will free them forever. Jesus the Christ. So the paralyzed man, he couldn't walk, his legs were useless, sort of like the people that we see, homeless, stranded. My kids have a heart for when they see people that are less fortunate, and I always give them something. And that just touches Tamica's heart, like, Mom, you're the best mom. Now, she was just fussing me out in the car, but when she saw that demonstration of love, she was like, you're the best mom. And those are people that are not as fortunate, that need your help. That sit, that lay, that may be unresourceful, unproductive, sometimes outcast. Prior to this story, Jesus healed the man with leprosy. And think about it, if you had somebody sitting next to you and you knew that they had leprosy, AIDS, cancer, any of those sicknesses, and you kind of just let them sit by you, didn't tend to them, weren't one of the 4 friends. Let's talk about the 4 friends. The 4 friends, they showed compassion. They connected. We've been committed to connect all of our ministry. They showed compassion and concern. But one of the things that stood out in the story to me was that they were in tune with their community. Because they heard about a man named Jesus in Capernaum, and they didn't just hear about it and not do anything, but they heard about it because they was in tune to what was going on in the community. They knew it was going on at the light. They knew where the light was. They knew the celebrity that was in town, and they wanted to make sure they brought him to the place where he was. So the 4 friends, they were also resourceful and they were creative. In the story, it talks about how they brought a mat to the paralyzed friend, and they put him on the mat, walked him to where the crowd was, where Jesus was. And when they got there, it was a crowd like, pretty much like Beyonce and Jay-Z concert, I can imagine. Y'all not with me? I thought I was talking to young people. I'm sorry, I got thrown off. But it was crowded. They was pushing and shoving. And instead of looking at what was going on with the crowd as an obstacle, what did they look at it as? A stepping stone. An opportunity. A chance to make a way out of no way. Something non-traditional. Creative. They took the friend up back. They said to the rooftop. Now, it's probably not a roof like ours where, it's built to last, but a rooftop that they could actually get him lifted and put him center down to like where I am, where Jesus was standing. And I can imagine that the people that were there, maybe some like you, were standing there thinking, now, who do they think they are I bought my ticket just like they did, and I bought VIP front row. I'm sitting on the front row, and this man just comes down here to the front. And Jesus says, because of your faith, you're here, walk. Simple as that. Now, that crowd could have been a challenge. Could have been a roadblock. But them 4 friends, I want y'all to think about them 4 friends. Can I get 4 friends up here? See how long it took? I got 2 that time. 3. Talk about 4 friends. Y'all with me? Am I good, Auntie? So, let's talk about this Jesus. Today is his birthday. We had an opportunity to stay home, cook, clean, open gifts, lay around. Like we were paralyzed after we finished that food today. It's going to be pretty much what it's going to look like. But we came to the house of the Lord. Why? Clearly because we have Jesus. But who did you bring? Where my friends at? Where my friend at? Keita, I brought Keita. Keita came from Detroit. And me and her were talking about this last night at Auntie's house. And she said, you've been a lift all of my life. And I remember the last time that I lifted her, like one of the 4 friends with a paralyzed person that just needed some help, resource. It was about maybe 2 months ago. She calls or texts. She said, I'm trying to get this job at Eastern Michigan, big time, football. I said, oh, I know the athletic director there, Heather. Lord have mercy. 4 friends. Amen. So I want you to think about, she got the job too, by the way. and she's working at a football institution for the men's basketball program, not the women's basketball program, because she ain't even supposed to be doing what she's doing, but she like one of few in the country that's doing what she's doing. But I want you to think about this story for yourself about these 4 friends. They activated their faith. They showed that compassion and that concern. It was not about them. I would imagine the 4 friends probably like me. Pretty much had it all. Peace, joy, love, because I got Jesus. So I really didn't need much anybody but my mama and my babies, keeping it real. And I could have just said when Keita called me, good luck, I'll be praying for you. That's our line, I'll be praying for you. Christians. As we go into 2016, leave out of 2016, go into 2017, I want you to be like that lift. Like that lift. And if you need an acronym, because you know I love acronyms. Hey, Janae, look so pretty over there. Love to say my sisters. Think about lift. Like that love. Now we demonstrate that all the time. We're very hospitable. We'll bring people from the door into the church that already got here. How about you go and get some people out in the community where you're in tune. You know what's going on. And bring them where the light is, where Jesus is. That's love. Those friends could have just let their friend lay. He'd been there for years. But the love is the fact that they put him on a mat. They walked him across town. You can drive across town now. And they made sure he got lifted. And they got the song out now, the bottom look, I've been on the bottom so long, you look up to me, right? Y'all know that song? What's that song? How that song go, young people?
Started from the bottom.
Say it again.
Started from the bottom. Oh, yeah.
That's an old version. What's that song that I've been down so long it look like up to me?
Hey.
They look up to me.
Hey.
I got fake people showing fake love to me. Straight up to my face.
Yeah. That's what the young people are saying. Bishop, you hear that? I've been so down, it looks like up to me. They look up to me. So people still looking at you. I got fake friends showing fake love to me. Because they sitting up in this church. And they won't go out there and get nobody and bring them up in this church. That's a remix. That's a remix. But lights that love will get out in the community. And they will bring people in. They won't let them lay. They won't let them stay the same. They will inspire others. Y'all inspired today?
Yes.
All right. I want to see that active faith then. I want to see the next time we come up in here that you brought somebody with you. You take responsibility for what you can do. They inspire people. They're fearless because of their faith in God. Fearless. Like they live. They love. They inspire people. They're fearless because of their faith in God. And they give. What do they give? They give their time. Think about the time it took them to walk that paralyzed man on a mat. Think about the time it took them to lift him up to the top of the roof. Some of y'all won't walk people from their seats up here to the front. They gave their time. We give up our tabernacle and our talent in ministry every day, not just on Sundays, every day. And we give our tenth to God. Be a light that lifts, and I promise you, God will supply all of your needs so that you can continue to help supply the needs of others. Amen.
Amen.